Woohoo! Let's Talk About the Music is starting.
What is Let's Talk About the Music, and why are you so excited about it?
It's a podcast with controversial talk and a global mix of music.
Oh, cool. How and where can I listen?
Just go to letstalkaboutthemusic.com and click follow to be sure to get all the info about the bands that are playing and see their music videos. Then click on Spreaker or iTunes to listen live and even chat with other listeners and the host herself.
What day and time is Let's Talk About the Music on?
Every Wednesday night from 8 p.m. to midnight Pacific Standard Time.
I think I'll tune in. Thanks for the info.
Here.
Yes. Let's
Okay,
talk
no.
about the music. Michelle's your
It's just blowing my mind.
Hey, that's live. That's how it works.
It's live.
Awesome.
And hey, Spider. You
Yes,
know
yes,
how
yes.
I always say that I am from Tacoma, and you have to Google it.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you make fun of me making it into a drinking game.
Yeah, I have a drink here, actually. I'm drinking along with it now.
Well, I actually had to tell that to Arnold.
Well, you got to explain the jokes sometimes.
Okay, so you explain the jokes, and then we'll continue on.
Okay. We've got a radio drinking game that we do because of how many times a show that Shells usually says this. When she talks about Tacoma, or sometimes just randomly at different events, she'll say, Google it. And every time she says Google it, whatever you're drinking, it doesn't have to be alcoholic. You could be drinking, like Earl Grey tea or something, whatever. But just take a drink. It's the
Gotcha.
Let's Talk About the Music drinking game.
Gotcha. Yeah, I got a taste of the whole Google it thing earlier today from Shells.
Well, see? You were already way ahead of the rest of us then.
Yeah. I just got to get a drink by me.
He's right. Yeah, go for it. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so all right. So what? Okay. Anyway, there is a drinking game. We should tell everybody that every time we start the show, so everyone get prepared, get your drink. That's the new thing.
Sure.
I'm just drinking water. Why not? All right. So here's the purpose of the show. Okay, and we actually had to add another description to our tagline. We are now, as Let's Talk About the Music, a humorous, controversial talk show with global mix of music. Is that too long or what?
It's a mouthful, but we like to have fun, so mouthfuls are fine.
Right.
Mouthfuls are fine. I like that.
Yes, because we have a new PR who is working with us trying to get our words out, get our message out there about the radio show. So we're getting that in. So we're talking about how we're going to get us out there more. And he's already been on the show before. If you remember Jeff from When Band Manners Speak Out, he is taking on the task of helping us get the word out about the podcast. So let's talk about the music.
Yes.
And we're talking about it. And I want to put humor somewhere in there. He goes, yes, you should put humorous, controversial talk show. So he actually helped us rename the tagline. And ta-da! We're now the humorous, controversial talk show.
That's probably accurate. We are kind of humorous. I mean, I'm probably more humorous than you are, but people can't see my face, so they don't know that.
Well, after King George from Australia told us that we were like X-Files, you're Scully and I'm Mulder. I mean, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, I do have the boobs for it, so
Oh my God.
Well, now that we've gotten thoroughly sidetracked, let's start the show.
We should start the show. Oh my God. We have Arnold from
Hi.
Spells and Kisses. Not Spells and Kisses, Spells and Curses.
Spells and Kisses. Wow, that's a great idea for a band name.
That's the parody band. That's
That
it's
is
a more soft, more ballador.
I want to be in that band though. I want to be in Spells and Kisses. I want to open for Spells and Curses with Spells and Kisses, and we do like Britney Spears covers.
Perfect.
That's a great idea.
Well,
Spells
see?
and Kisses.
We're inspiring.
Yes, wonderful,
You're
brilliant.
the first one who actually enjoys the fact that I actually rename band names. Everyone's like, "How dare you do that?" And I
You gotta roll with
lose
the punches.
people.
Yeah, Shell's mispronunciations are legendary, and some people take offense, which is, it happens. But
Yeah.
it's all.
You're gonna
in fun.
love our
It's
song
not
titles then.
Now I got to go off on a tangent about that because when I was in my metal band way back, we had parody names and parody lyrics for some of our own songs just to be silly for sound checks.
Of course, as you do naturally.
There was a song called "You Failed" that was all big, like heavy song, like "You Failed," all like deep growls and stuff, metal stuff. And so we renamed it "Huge Sale" about Save-A-Lot. And sang about getting good deals at Save-A-Lot. So,
Wow, nice.
Wow.
Speaking of song titles, Can I just mention that I recently heard one of the greatest song titles in my life?
Yeah.
And it's a Prince song.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Irresistible Bitch. Isn't that fantastic?
That is.
Straight to the point. You know,
Irresistible
it's complimentary, and yeah.
And
He had a
the
way
second
with song titles.
Yeah, and the second best song title I've ever heard was "I Hate Every Bone in Her Body Except Mine." Real song.
That's from the Ministry Side project, isn't it?
I think that's Poison, actually.
Oh, you know, because there's a Ministry song that's almost the same thing, unless they covered it. It was
Maybe.
Because lead singer of Ministry made a country side project, and he named one of his songs that.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Good coincidence, though.
Yeah. Great song title.
Well, since you're speaking of Prince, I do know that one of your topics you wanted to discuss is how great Prince was, or still is. And we just did a very first spotlight show on Prince last Tuesday, yesterday. Oh my God, yesterday.
Yeah, it was very recent.
Very recent. So is this great segue? We'll start with Prince and we'll go on from there. So you want to talk about Prince. So here's your floor. Talk about Prince.
Oh my goodness. What is there to talk? Okay. Well, I could talk about Prince for days. And I mean...
So can't wait.
Yeah. I don't know what your guys... I'd like to start off with my intro to Prince, first of all. Because it's not the typical intro I'd imagine that other people have with Prince or music, for that matter of speaking. But like... I remember when I was a kid, growing up, the internet wasn't what it is today. You couldn't really get music that quickly. It wasn't at the tip of your fingers. It wasn't online quite yet. Napster hadn't hit it big, and I mean, it wasn't easy to get. You had to still go to the record shops. You had to still find who you wanted to check out. You had to go to the section or whatever. So if I wanted a Guns N' Roses album, I'd have to go into Circuit City, which was the closest place that sold records by me. Good old Circuit City, which I think is bankrupt now.
Yeah,
it's gone actually, I think. Yeah, and so I'd have to go to the G's and go see Guns N' Roses. G's. Oh, and there's also a band called Guar. Let's check them out. Cool. And Goo Goo Dolls. And that whole thing. That was a well. I'm kind of going off a tangent here, but that was a fun time. But I remember one time going to a record store and seeing in passing, I was there with my mom. We had to get something, and seeing in passing, we always, every time we walked by the records, there'd be the records that had all the artists just laid out on display there. And I just remember walking by and seeing the cover for, I think it was Love Sexy. Do you remember the cover for Love Sexy? It's the one where he's like naked on a flower and just covering himself up and being Prince. And I'm like, who's that? And I think at that point I might have known it was Prince, but it just didn't look like Prince because I knew Prince as the guy from Purple Rain, and I expected him to be in Purple Rain regalia.
Wow.
But when I saw that, yeah. So I must have been, I want to say 12 or 13. I'm just like, what is that? That looks like an album that is very interesting. But we were walking by, so I couldn't really, we were in a hurry and I couldn't really check it out. So the thing that I used to do to, get my hands on records was back in the day, I'd go to the library here in New York. And in our Queens library, we have, they would have albums that you could check out with your library card. So you could take out, albums from, and I was introduced to so many music through the Queens Public Library. So I was introduced to a lot of artists that I could, name for hours. But one of them was Prince. I wanted to get into Prince. So I'm like, do they have any Prince? They didn't have Love Sexy, unfortunately. They didn't have that cover. But they did have 1999 and the Gold Experience.